Okay, not quite time yet, sir. I am making a mess. I am making a mess. It is too cold to be outside. What's wrong? Hank, I don't want hair in my coffee. No hair in my coffee. Move away. All right, babe, we're in the green room. People are here. I thought that was really cute. Hey, Miss Karen. Karen says, my first time ever in the waiting room. Karen, we don't call it a waiting room. This will be funny. I'm not going to say anything. Jamie, don't say anything. But I wonder how many people know what we actually call it. What do we call this room? It's not the waiting room. I like how she put little air quotes. You're a lovely lady, Miss Karen, but it's not called the waiting room. Come on, y'all. What's it called? What's it called? I'm waiting for someone to tell me.
Call it what you want, Miss Karen.
Miss Karen, call it whatever she wants. But the Miss, oh my golly, gee, Deborah Sabal says it's called the green room. And yeah, we do call it the green room. I don't know why, but even for the app that we use, and we don't promote the app, we have to pay for it like everybody else, but they call it the green room. And so I think that when you go like to like a production, like a TV show or whatever, I don't know, but I think before they call you out, they put you into a room where they give you all kinds of drinks, beverages, snacks, where you hang out with other people who are going to be on the show. And they call that the green room. Why are you making that face at me?
What makes you think all of those things or know all of those?
I don't know how I know what I know. Sometimes I just dream stuff and it becomes reality. Whatever I dream can become reality.
Including a 7-foot woman.
Well, that has not become a reality. That was one dream that I would be real interested in trying out just for curiosity's sake. Just for curiosity's sake, to see if I could actually bend her over the way that what's wrong? Bend her over.
Lester Morrow.
Jamie, what would you call this?
I'm drinking coffee now.
We haven't.
Cheers to y'all. Cheers,
everybody.
I've been waiting all morning for this. Not this. This.
I think everyone else knows what I mean. If there's a 7-foot woman and you have to kiss her, or else you're going to jail because she's a cop, and you can't reach, so you have to, what would you call that? Not bend her over?
Dip.
You would dip her over?
Yeah.
You would dip her over.
That's a dip.
No one else is saying
Look,
dip.
other people are saying dip, not bend, dip. It's a dip.
You would dip her?
That's a dip.
Okay.
That's a dip.
Listen, everyone knows I'm not the
I've
most.
never been dipped.
I'm not the most
For the
wordy.
record,
I'm not
never been dipped.
I'll try to dip you right now.
We might die.
My neck hurts, but I will try to dip you. Is it going to affect my neck?
I don't want you to dip me like you would the 7-foot tall woman.
Well, the only way to kiss her would be to dip her or bend her over. Either way, to get her down to my level.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Not like that, to get her down to my level. Oh, Lordy. Could you have one of them croissants? Are those fresh?
Yeah.
I don't really eat breakfast. I don't even know why Jamie bought these because I don't even eat breakfast. But
I was going to make ham and cheese croissants.
Oh,
lunch.
sheesh, I'll wait.
You can eat it.
I'll
Go
wait.
ahead.
No, that sounds really good.
If you're
I'll wait.
hungry.
I'd rather wait. I would rather wait.
You're staring at them like they look so delicious. Do you want me to heat
Here's
it
the
up?
thing. Here's the thing. I'm on day number 4 of my new diet, and I would like you to brag about me if you could. I'm not trying to beg for bragging, but if you want to brag about me with all of my boxing I've been doing and my weightlifting. Oh, and then Ritzy humping your arm when you try to work out.
That happened. That happened. Okay, so it's horrible. It's so horrible. So I'm not like, neither one of us are going to a gym because there's no time to go to a gym. But I would like to
Thank you, Giggles.
feel more in strength, or like I would like to feel stronger. And I feel like we're both farm strong, but there's other things that we would like to work on about ourselves. So we decided we're going to commit to working out and to doing more than our normal. So instead of sitting down after chores, we're both being a little more active. So the boxing thing, lifting weights, doing planks, crunches. I do some other leg ab work. And then I also am trying to hit at least 10,000 steps a day and get, grow from there. Right. Like I want to do more.
I'm filthy. Sorry, Jamie.
You are filthy.
I'm filthy.
Anyway, so I don't know if you know this, but doing any type of anything on the floor out in the shop is like the dogs think, number one, that we're both dying because of the noises that we're making, clearly. And number two, that they need to participate. So they like swarm you and you can't breathe and your planks last 12 seconds. Thank God they're there to help, to be honest with you. And Ritzy thought that while I was down, I must have needed help up because she wrapped her arms around my arm and started pulling a little.
No, she was full on. And Ritzy's an old lady. No offense to the older folks out there. No offense to the older folks. I'm sure older folks can hump like the best of them. But Ritzy got full on and she's just going at it. Ritzy is like, how old is she?
She's a female.
How old is she?
She's like 13.
She's like 13 times 7 because that's dog years. So what is 13 times 7?
70 times 21, 92.
Okay, that's very similar
91.
to a 92-year-old Ritzy
I don't know.
out there on Jamie's arm just going at it. And so got Jamie up. Sure enough, she got her up, but I don't know. Anywho, we are very blessed to have you guys jump on this morning and have a cup of coffee.
Things out.
No, I could not get Facebook to log in. I'm so very sorry. So what I will do is what I've been doing the last several times. I'll go back when we're done here. So we are only coming to YouTube. All 3 channels on YouTube are all brought in together into StreamYard, our app that we pay for. And then what I will do when we're done here, I will share the link to Facebook. Oh. So Facebook can still see, they'll be watching the replay, whereas all these wonderful people are watching us live. Oh. So Facebook's not letting me log in. It's not letting me log in. I don't know if it's something with Facebook, but you know what? With Facebook, who knows and who cares? I'm not even going to worry about it. Oh. But anywho's. So yeah, but the diet thing, since Jamie didn't talk about it, is
I was getting there.
I had some New Year's resolutions, and here we are on day 4, and I'm still holding true. No Dr. Peppers. You heard me right. No Dr. Peppers. Instead, I've taken up Coke Zero.
I love Coke Zero.
That's what I was going to say. Everyone's saying, well, Dr. Pepper has a 0, but here's the thing. Just for the ease, just to make it easier, we just both can have a Coke Zero.
I'm happy to buy you Dr. Pepper Zero if that's what you want.
No, Coke Zero is available at all vending machines. And so it's everywhere not vending machine, but everywhere you go to get a refill, it's Coke Zero. You can't find Dr. Pepper Zero just anywhere. So Coke Zero is fine, and that's good. I've also stopped drinking whole milk. You guys know I had a weird thing about every night, 9:30, 10 o'clock, go pouring me a cup of whole milk.
It wasn't a cup.
No, it was probably sometimes.
It was like a half gallon.
It was 2 or 3 cups, but I would drink a cup. Then my body would say, get another one.
Cups. It was like the Pizza Hut cups, like the Pizza Hut old school large cups. And I'm sorry. I have to tease you a little bit right now. Oh. When we were bottle feeding goats, I would have to put a reserve aside of don't drink the goat's milk for tomorrow morning, Lester, because Lester had such a milk thing. I don't know. You go through phases of that.
Well, I'm not going to do that this year. 2025 is my year to get myself back into shape. And there's not any other reason besides the fact that I'm just tired of not feeling good. Friends, I'm just going to say it. I am tired of not feeling good. So please don't hate on me. Please support and encourage. But I've stopped all those late night snackings. I told Jamie, I sent her a text. I can prove it. I'm just do not try to be sweet and bring home any more donuts.
And I didn't.
Or any more sweet Twinkies, because I love Twinkies. Because that's what I was doing is the devil gets a hold of me at night. I don't know about you guys, but by day, I got the light shines. I got Jesus in my heart. But at night, the devil gets into me.
Too.
Huh?
I'm dirty too. Why am I dirty?
I don't know. But at night, the devil gets a hold of me. And one of the things he does is makes me go looking for snacks. And so I wander around this house or the other property and I look for snacks. And that usually includes sweets and whole milk by the gallonfuls. It's sickening. It's sickening. It's just junk food. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to have an actual meal and then watch TV or our show and then go to bed. So I'm also working out.
Hey, the sad part is like yesterday I saw a video of him. I'm like, he's lost weight already. Do you know how mad that makes me that he gets to like, I'll just stop snacking for 3 days and you can see it on him. It'll take me a year to look like I lost anything if I make it, okay? But Lester gets 3 days of I'm just not going to drink milk and Dr. Pepper, and all of a sudden he's thin.
Or donuts. I have not eaten any donuts.
3 days.
Chocolate donuts though are horrible, and so I have done really, really good. And here's the thing: I'm not bragging on myself, but Jamie, feel my shoulders. Tell me you don't feel a little bit harder than what they were last week. So I know it's a man thing. Shannon says, darn, man, it is true. Men can sometimes just dedicate a week to doing something and it starts taking shape in no time. But I feel good, and I'm going to just keep on this mission to feel better and better and better. So I will continue. So you guys support me, please, okay?
I'm just trying. Like, I'm not doing a specific diet. So, like, there's nothing that I'm like, I'm going to cut out. Like, specific like that. I'm trying to not snack in between meals and to truly eat meals, because I'm a person that I don't really need meals. I could just snack. And it's not really a New Year's resolution. It's more along the lines of like, I'm really recognizing that menopause is really real and uncontrollable, and that I've got to combat it in some way. And I want to not feel so, this is terrible. I don't want to feel so old. Okay. I feel really old. It's not helping that I'm sick as well, but I'm trying really hard. I am.
Shannon says, oh my gosh, same. My husband can fast for 3 or 4 days and he can lose 20 pounds. Just
it's
so
not fair.
Not fair.
It's not fair.
I know, right?
I like look at him, I'm like, you've already lost weight. This is anyway.
Well, we're all survivors of something, Jamie. You got this menopause thing. You got this. How long will this last?
Like 20 years.
20 years?
That's what my mother says. My mother says that hers is going on 20 years right now.
Oh, Lord. Well, sheesh.
It's not right. It's not fair.
No, it's not. It's not fair. Menopause is of the devil, says.
It does.
Anywho, here comes trouble. You see who's coming this way?
Come on, Hank.
He's going to go around back behind us. Hank has just come by to say hi to hello to you all. And what he'll do is plop his tail down and start getting hair all in our coffee. And to him, it's like a big joke. To me, it's not funny at all.
It doesn't bother me.
I'm
beyond that.
Did you play your video yet of our pond project?
Mm-mm.
No.
Well, let me rephrase that. So just a smidgen of it in the horse and donkey shuffle.
Donkey shuffle.
The Dinky Darrow becomes a big video, shows the beginning of the pond stuff.
Well, in this afternoon's video, my 3 o'clock video, our pond project is coming along really nicely. Mr. Jeremy, he's the fellow who owns the feed store where we get our feed buggy, but he also he's just a businessman. He also has tractors and equipment. He was the same guy who helped figure out the solution to our pond erosion issue over on the left side of the property with all the rock, creating a new spillway. And so now he and his guys are over here today working on the right side of the property to have a continuation of a really big, beautiful pond area.
I'm going to call it Survivor Spring over there.
Survivor Spring? Yeah. I have some bad news for you, sweet lady. That Survivor Spring is 15 foot deep and it's already full from spring water. Isn't that crazy?
Why is that bad news?
Well, no, I mean, because here's what people are picturing: a dripping, a little oozing spring. People, right? No, when you say a spring, people imagine a little trickle coming out of the earth. But what you're going to find when you get over there is a beautiful 15-foot pond that's spring fed.
Yes, that's why I'm calling it Survivor Spring.
Okay, then that's fine as long as you understand that it's a very deep spring.
It's really neat that it's a self-filling pond. Like it is spring fed, so it will always have water in it.
Yeah.
To an extent, right?
We hope.
And that'll be a great water source for that side of the pasture.
Well, when Mr. Jeremy sent his tractor guy with the excavator to start working and he started digging, the guy was shocked that as fast as he could dig, it was refilling with water. And that's not the water table. Don't forget, we are 400 foot above sea level here. Yeah. So we're very blessed to be above sea level. But we've known there's springs all over this property for the longest time. There's several in the back. There's a few here in the front.
Lester and I discovered the springs when we first were buying this property. We were like, let's climb the bluff and see.
Yeah.
Let's just see what's up. Like obviously we knew, but let's see where we come out at the edge of the property. So we climbed that bluff and we ran into 2 springs down there.
Well, first we saw all of that, that special type of foliage that only grows that only grows around springs. And so we saw all this fern, and there's this little bubbling spring coming out.
Little babbling brook just hanging down hanging
absolutely.
off the Widow's Ridge over here. And then we saw that at the time, these were woods before we had it cleared. And that little creek that ran through there always had water, even in the driest of drought. We thought that was so strange. And the water was clear, not murky at all. So we realized that was also a spring. So I don't know if you intended to call it anything, but I was calling this pond over here Survivor Spring.
That's absolutely fine. There's no problem with that at all. We have all of our babies all enclosed to keep them out of harm's way. There's a lot of tractors moving around, bulldozers, excavators, dirt being shifted and moved. And we had a major erosion issue over there. So I'm hoping that they can address all of that. Now, just remember that even though these guys bring a lot of expertise, we may realize a little bit later, after one of our big heavy rains, some troubleshooting areas. But Jeremy's really good about coming back out and fixing anything that needs to be fixed up or moved around.
It's really neat to have a friendship / business relationship with somebody that has the same mentality of us, of like, just try again, watch what happens. You don't know until you know. And I really enjoy that about working with Jeremy and being able to strategize and think through, is that we'll do this because we think this is what we see, but then you do have to wait and see. It's not like, here it is and I'll never see you again,
Yeah. Survivor Spring is, I don't mean to get back off of Mr. Jeremy, but we do have Gary's Grove over at the North Ranch, and then we also have our memorial garden over in Plum Grove. So we need something here like a Survivor Spring. And then maybe, I don't know this for a fact, but maybe eventually we can get our little bridge built. Jamie has this vision of one day creating a bridge. We can just build a bridge, a simple bridge that we can walk over, but each plank on the bridge can be painted in a rainbow color.
I want a rainbow bridge.
And we could even somehow, I don't know if you would use a router or burn.
I want to memorialize all of those that we've lost.
The babies who we've lost here. Yeah. So that's not morbid, I don't think. That's just a way to memorialize those who we've loved and who we've lost.
Well, you've had a prayer place here for a long time, and I just think that...
Well, I still do have a prayer place, but my hammock is rotten. I did not know a hammock could rot within a year's time.
It's 3 years.
Has it been 3 years? It doesn't matter. So here's the thing with the hammock. It's full of spiders. Spiders have said, you know what? Why make a web? We got one right here already for us.
We'll get you a new hammock.
And so tons of spiders have moved into my hammock, and now it's starting to rot. So I don't want to be the guy on that hammock when it just falls. And so I'll roll down the hill with spiders bite me at the same time. Don't order one right now.
I'm going to show them the Rainbow Bridge idea. Give me a second.
Okay. So, that would be the worst thing ever. My prayer place is a beautiful location, but I will say that if you've not been, or if you've not seen the backside of our property here in a while since the flooding, it's not the same, y'all. I tell you what, that hurricane took down a lot of our trees. It washed out a lot of my road. I can no longer take the littles down for a walk. And so it would require the Argo to get up and down because it's so
we've had a lot of washout.
We've had a lot of washout.
I guess I lost that picture.
So we're not going to work on that right now. That's not our biggest concern. We have other projects, a lot bigger projects than that. And to be honest, we've had nothing but kind of bad experiences down there anyway with the whole Mr. Huck stuff. And that's where all the coyotes come from and everything else. Have you talked about that gosh darn boot?
No, shush. No, don't say that.
I will not say a word about it, y'all.
Stop talking about it. Why?
Well, people need to know. What is something?
It's Monday's video. Stop it. G-Pat.
G-Pat? Why G?
Because she can't keep a secret.
Oh. Okay. I didn't know why you were referring to me as G. Andy says the boot. Andy, I can't talk about it, but I'm telling you, it's freaky. It's freaky. It's darn freaky.
Monday. Y'all can find out Monday if Loose Lips Lester here doesn't spill it all.
I won't say another word. Just if you can find something to talk about, hurry, because my mind is the devil's got into me again. The devil's trying to make me think of something to say about it, and I don't want to.
Gosh.
I'll refill our coffees.
So yesterday afternoon, I ran to Walmart and I made a little post about this. And I called Lester right after it happened because I was like, it was wild and it was so heartfelt. I was driving the sanctuary truck and I parked. I had already gone through the rest areas, gone through some areas and did a loop around looking for Sadie. And I parked my truck at Walmart and I was doing that thing you do before you go in, like everything's off. Check, double check, whatever, just a minute and a half to like gather myself as I prepared to go into Walmart in one of the busiest times. Like it looked like Christmas Eve. Okay. All of a sudden on the window of the truck and a man is standing out there goes, Jamie. And I'm like, do I know this person? No. I'm like, hi, can I help you? And he's like, have you all found Sadie? And I was like, I'm so sorry to tell you no. And tears are welling up in my eyes. And I'm trying to say, I'm looking everywhere and I'm doing everything. There was a sighting, but I don't know. And he goes, yeah, I saw Lester thinks that he saw her. And he just said, I just want you to know that we're all looking forward to and we're praying for her. And I freaking lost it. Just lost it in front of a stranger in the Walmart parking lot. To me, that was just like, I don't know. I said this I made a little video. We don't feel deserving of all the love, and to think that Sadie has all of these, I'm sorry to say strangers, people that have never met her in real life, love her so much. It's just so profound. Sorry. I didn't mean to cry. I didn't mean to take that whole level. I just thought it was really sweet, and it's amazing the amount of love and support that y'all are giving us. And we're not giving up hope. We're not done looking or anything like that. But I also have to say that we are preparing for a horrible week of cold weather at night, and we have to focus on these animals too. And
that's one thing that we don't have to worry as much about Sadie. She has a very thick coat. She's fine as far as weather goes. No one wants to see their animals out in the cold, but more than likely, Sadie would be out in the cold anyway by choice. The same as Millie and Fiona. Guys, whenever we see cold temps, most of our dogs want to be inside. Our Christmas, our Stellas, they want to come right over here behind us and Trixie and do all the stuff. But Millie and Fiona, they don't see weather the way that we do. And Sadie's the same way. They don't see weather. And
the alpacas are the same way. They just love the cold
ostriches,
weather.
It's like we get like, go inside, Ernie.
Yeah.
But he's just like.
They'll have frost all over him.
It's ice. Yeah. Ice will be hanging off of him. But no, anyone that has those type of dogs like Huskies or those types of furry dogs, they know that the weather, even though it affects us, they're not as easily affected, or it doesn't bother them as much. And so we don't force Millie and Fiona to stay inside. We don't force Sadie to stay inside. If they want to go outside, we let them. And they will. We will sometimes see them in the pouring rain, in the cold, and it's like,
yeah,
weirdos,
weird.
Come inside the shop. Our shop stays open.
I also had this dream last night, and I haven't even told you about this yet. I had a dream that we saw that same dog again and couldn't tell if it was Sadie because she was amongst like 10 other of dogs that looked like they all looked exactly the same. And we were calling her and she never came. And they all they were all replicates like of each other. And I was so frustrated because I'm calling and I don't know who's who, and they all just looked the same. And there's some truth to that because people are sending pictures from all over, and people are sending videos. And even, I think Jake even saw one close to Plum Grove yesterday. And I'm like, it's really hard. Like, of all the breeds, they're so dynamically similar that, like a beagle will have different markings and different colors, and there's variations and you can tell differences. But I will tell you, the Great Pyrenees are very hard to tell apart. And I guess in my dream, because I took NyQuil, because NyQuil makes me a crazy person as far as dreams go. I just, I don't know. I just had a dream that she was amongst like 10 other ones, but it wasn't like a lineup. They were all just like together in this like lot.
Yeah.
So
as far as everyone who says you should put out live traps, here's my concern with putting out live traps. What do we do with all of the cats and all the other dogs that we catch in those live traps? You already know that people will not take them. And so we're not going to be going down all around. We have live traps. We have tons of live traps, but we're not going to go.
But we can't live trap on other people's property.
No, you can't go to someone else's property and set out live traps. But even if you did, what about all of the cats and dogs you're going to catch? What are you going to do? Just open it up, let them go, and then hope they don't come right back? So we're looking, continually looking. There are people in the neighborhood who are looking, and but I was going to go a different direction.
Oh,
I know. Well, no. I know, and this is going to get people mad at me because you're saying about how sweet and kind everybody is, and I agree. People are being very sweet and very kind, but it's also very overwhelming. It's just like it is so overwhelming to be doing all that you can possibly do, and your phone and your email and every form of communication, even people driving by at the gate asking you and showing you pictures because they can't get a hold of you. It's so overwhelming. And so it's lovely that people are so kind, but you just cannot follow up on every single picture that someone sends you from Oklahoma or from other parts of Texas and things. I think that what we're going to have to do is just hope that eventually she's picked up and someone takes her to the vet, and that at some point they have her chip read, and that was really our only chance.
I think that people also don't realize and recognize that Texas has a dog problem. I know we've talked about it in the past, but there are dogs everywhere. So it's not uncommon for dogs to be running around everywhere. Not like where I'm from, if a stray dog was around, everyone would know about it and everyone would know where it belongs to, or like, because everybody knows everything. Here, there's dogs everywhere all the time, and especially Great Pyrenees.
That's what another thing I was going to say, and I'm not trying to be mean. But let's just put Sadie aside for a second. If people would spend as much time and attention on all of these other dogs that really are going to be affected by the upcoming cold, all the cats we see over there at the rest stop. And so I know there was a group coming out of North Houston to try to search for Sadie. And I says, no, I says, we'll don't do all of that. Take care of the dogs in your neighborhood.
I also think that they wouldn't recognize, like that was one of the things that when you sent that message, somebody sent a message that said, there's a
we're on our way. We got a convoy coming from North Houston.
We want to come help. And I was like, even if they saw a Great Pyrenees, there's so many. They're like, seriously, we could drive down our road and see 4 to 5 right now. How are they going to know if it's Sadie?
Yeah.
I guess that's where I'm at, is like,
Jamie would recognize her in a lineup. I don't think I would.
Well, in my dream, I couldn't recognize her, and I was so upset about it in my dream. Like, I was really mad because, like,
anyway, I don't mean to sound like I'm the Debbie Downer and I'm just like squashing all of your wonderful ideas, but I do think that there's a lot of animals in need all over, and we love Sadie and we hope that she comes home, and we'll keep looking for her. We've done all that we can do. We've made the phone calls. We put the stuff out on social media. And but if you guys have that much time on your hands, take care of the animals in your neighborhoods. Seriously, stop calling us. Stop emailing us.
We're trying everything that we know. And we're also at a point to think, though, that we hope that Sadie has a wonderful home. If she was picked up, that we hope that she's happy. And like I said in my video, I hope that they give her lots of treats and that she likes hamburgers and not cheeseburgers. And
no, she doesn't like cheese.
And that
she would turn down a cheeseburger.
And she doesn't like her tail brushed, only her body.
You could actually if you ended up getting a cheeseburger accidentally and you put it there in front of her, which dog would not just snatch it up and eat it in a heartbeat?
She wouldn't eat it.
She did not want cheese on her burgers. She wanted hamburgers.
Seriously. I've never seen a dog like turn her nose, like she would flip it over.
I don't like having to be interrogated, but listen, Sadie is fixed. And she is microchipped, and she's been gone for over a week.
Yeah.
And we've only seen one dog that looks like her in our area of where she went missing. So, and that dog, I'm still watching for that particular dog.
Yeah.
But and then for those who think I'm being such a jerk, I'm so sorry that you feel that way. But really, my phone and my emails, and Jamie's too. Jamie didn't complain. Jamie keeps everything nice and sweet, but it's overwhelming the amount of sightings that we can follow up on some, but we're not going to drive to Oklahoma, or Washington State. Sorry.
Well, I haven't seen a single picture that looks like her.
No.
To be really candid, there's not one picture that has come that has looked like Sadie.
I know that y'all think that I'm being mean. I'm not.
He's not. I don't think that like our phones are ringing 24 hours a day.
You can't even turn your phone on. You can't turn it on. And then I feel bad because if someone does need me, yet I have my ringer off because I just cannot keep answering or seeing all these unknown numbers. And I know people are being kind. I know it's not you being mean, trying to be mean. You're trying to be helpful, but it's just so overwhelming. And then,
we just know that there's a significant amount of other animals that have to be taken care of. And that's what we're trying to do too.
I'll tell you a funny story. So, Jamie went on and she registered my truck for me. My tag expired. And thank you for the 1,000 people who told me and told Jamie my truck tag expired. And Jamie goes, go check your email because they sent you something that I need to have until I get the actual tag in. I said, here, you check it. I gave her my phone, and how many scrolls did it take? She couldn't find it. Now, she could have probably been smarter and typed in Texas, whatever, to find it. But it's like this, if you know what I mean, when you just of email after email after email after email after email. And and if I was to stop and take time to read and go through every single one of those emails, it's just so overwhelming. Oh, I will say one that I did read from Miss Barbara. You don't know about this. This is the lady from Australia who sent us a gift packet. Now she sent it to you and to me. She's put one special request. She goes, please open on a live with Jamie and Lester.
Oops.
Well, you weren't with me. I was over at the other property one night. And so I put the vote up to internet. I said, okay, well, we can do it on a live. We can do it with half of us, but Jamie's not here. So I says, internet, what do I do? Open it or just wait? And everyone says, open it, open it, open it, open it. And so I opened it, and it was the funniest and the most thoughtful gifts ever. And she thought of everything, y'all. She thought of everything. Such sweet little notes that she would put on stuff. And she sent just so many sweet, thoughtful gifts, the kind of stuff that you would, because she knows us so darn well. And I did, in all of that scrolling, I run across one I had a weird address. So even Australia has different types of email addresses than what we have here in the States. And so I recognized the name Barbara, so I opened it, and then she wrote the cutest and sweetest email about how she saw the live, not while it was live, obviously, because she was sleeping, but it was just such a spot-on lady as far as how well she knows us, and I love that about her. But here's the thing. What I was trying to say is that would have got lost. Her message would have gotten lost in all of the I don't want to say thousands, but it's probably thousands of other emails of a Great Pyrenees in Washington State, a Great Pyrenees in this state, a Great Pyrenees. And so when and so I was blessed to run across her email because it touched me as much as her gifts touched me the night before. Her email touched me even more. So but no, those kind of things get lost along with my Texas truck tags. But I know you're just trying to be kind. You want to help. I get that, y'all. But it is overwhelming. That's the best word I can think of. Not trying to be mean, but it's just so darn overwhelming.
It is. It's not, and he's not exaggerating. It can be overwhelming to be we're both people pleasers. So we want to respond to everybody. We want to acknowledge, because it's important to do that, because that's what we would seek in people. And we can't do it. And that's where the overwhelming part comes from, is that we just have zero time to be able to meet that expectation. So in like the deepest thank you. And we, we love you, and we know that you love Sadie. It's just, we're really trying hard here to keep up. That's all.
And then, and I don't mean to add insult to injury, I think, but then at some point, because she's been gone for so long, and now you're having a lot of the people who are mad. Now they're getting mad. You know how
People are mad at us.
you know how you go through all of the different emotions, I guess, with loss. And I don't know I don't know the steps of emotions or the steps of that people go through, but at some point people start getting mean and mad. And now I think because it's been over a week, huh?
People were mad. People were mad on, like, I made a post in the local community pages, and people from our page saw those and criticized me because I didn't do it till I got home.
Well, it was the holiday, but anyway,
it doesn't even matter. It's the holiday. I just kept I kept thinking she would run back home after the storms were done. Like I didn't want to stress other people out. I didn't want to consume other people's time, because I just kept thinking, like, I remember a time, and I haven't talked about
Vanessa, it's called the stages of grief. I don't know. Go ahead and tell me your story.
When Sadie first came here, like when we got her and we vetted her after she left Plum Grove and she ended up moving here, the neighbor, the neighbors here and some grandkids of the neighbors in the woods behind us here were shooting, like shooting guns. They do target practice, other things. We're in the country, people shoot guns, right? And Sadie ran off. And I told Lester, I bawled that night, because I was like, here she is. It's her first night here. There's gunshots and she's gone. And I couldn't see her. I couldn't find her, anything. And it took her till the next day in the evening to come back. So in my head, I have always thought, when this happened, that she would come back. She just ran down and bedded somewhere. I think that she probably was bedded somewhere right behind the greenhouse in the woods at that point in time, and I just couldn't find her. And I guess I just kept thinking that was the case with these storms and the fireworks. It's like we just needed to get through it, and she would resurface.
I thought she would too. I did too. But no, a lot of folks just don't understand how you could leave a dog on a property by herself. But the thing is, people forget how much time we spend over there, number one. Then number two, they forget how happy she was when you get over there, and how we could find her off with those cows. And
she's a livestock guardian.
I bet you there were probably, maybe, I would say 50 times when I would be either on a live or in a video, and it brought up that whole purpose-driven life. Watching Sadie being so happy out in that pasture was truly what I think they mean by living a purpose-driven life. And she was never scared. She was never hiding. She was never, in survival mode. She was living her best life. No.
Do you ever think that sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay.
Do you ever think that in her scares that she discovered something else that needed to be taken care of, and she found a new purpose?
She's not coming home on purpose because she's found something else
to take care of. So I think about Millie. Okay. Millie has discovered Miss Pat's chickens. Millie.
Hey, I'm going to go and tell y'all. I says, Jamie, just give Millie to Miss Pat. Just give her to her. Send over her food. Let Miss Pat just have that darn dog.
Millie loves those chickens. Millie will not leave those chickens. And Fiona will go over there as well
to visit, but comes right back.
But if Millie barks, Fiona darts over, and they feel like Miss Pat and those chickens are part of their protection. What if, okay, hear me out. What if, in Sadie's spook and scare, there was something else that she found to take care of, and now she's like, oh, I better stay here and protect this, because some nights I have a hard time getting Millie to come home, because
every night.
Okay, it's every night now.
You're taking food to Millie now. Tell them the truth. You're taking food to Millie because she won't come home.
No, I meet Miss Pat at the fence to exchange Millie.
I don't know. I think that sometimes it's kind of Walt Disney-ish to kind of picture things like that. I think it's good. It makes your brain find peace. But here's what I think happened. I don't think that she ran off to go find her a new purpose.
I don't think she went to find a new purpose. I think she
accidentally got spooked because the fireworks were so overwhelming. And she was just, even inside the RV, she could still hear them, and they were popping. And she was just that scared to have to run. I don't know what made her.
Remember when we found her, when that lady called us, that lady never even heard of us. She Googled and found a place that would rescue dogs, and it was us. And she called us. And at that point in time, she said, this dog showed up in my pasture with a horse. Remember?
Yeah.
she showed up in my pasture with the horse, and she goes, and I'm not here every day. I don't have a dog. Anything like that. She's like, I don't need a dog. So that's how we acquired her, was she showed up in their pasture. So what if she has showed up in someone else's pasture?
So here's what I'm doing. I'm trying to picture myself driving down the highway in the direction away from the fireworks. And I don't see any home that would give her a purpose.
But there's
what I see
off the sides.
Mel, I mean, there is a farm behind us, behind the railroad tracks. Yes, that's the place that we think little Gary came from.
Yeah.
So you think that she may be over on that property back behind the railroad tracks?
I think that there's a lot of land and a lot of things that we can't see directly from the highway. We don't know all those roads and back roads and things like that. And if she indeed did, like, let's say that other Great Pyrenees that you saw wasn't her. If she found dogs like her, she may have just like, oh, I'll go with you. Like, dogs do that, they're pack animals. Even though Sadie loved to be alone.
Sadie did not want our dogs over there.
No, but that was on her turf.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I think about all the different things, and there's so much space. It's so big. It's not like a tiny little town where everybody would know the difference, And so I just want to, in my heart, imagine that she's either found a new purpose where she's needed, or she found a place to give her hamburgers, not cheeseburgers.
I know. So so if someone did pick her up from the rest stop, let's just play that scenario. She finds her way to the rest stop where there's people, where she felt she could kind of hide maybe. And then someone literally got her into the car and drove her somewhere. I hope that they don't have her in a tiny yard or in a kennel in a box. I'm sorry for those folks who keep their dogs in a kennel. I hope that she has a purpose where she ends up, because she was a dog who loved her purpose, and she would walk with those cows over that entire pasture. Wherever they would go, she was right there with them. And she was just so darn happy. I would love when I would pull up, she'd come to meet me. I'd give her a snack and she'd go right back to the cows. I could drive out to see the cows, and she's out there rolling around in the grass, just so happy. And that's rain or shine. It wasn't, hot or cold. That's just what she loved to do. So I don't know. But for the folks who were mean and are mad about it, I will say that I feel happy that for the month or so that she was here and unhappy, and that constant barking, remember the constant barking? We knew something was wrong. Mm-hmm. Everyone kept, we had issues with a lot of you folks back then. And I'm like, something's wrong. Something's wrong. There's no reason why she's just barking all the time. We even said how our neighbors are getting upset because she's keeping the neighbors awake, barking all night. And so what we finally did was thought to ourselves, maybe it's the fact that Danny and Ruby are gone and she misses them. So we took her over, and boy, that's all it was. She needed to get back to what she thought was her purpose. And she began to back intermingle with all the cows, and that's where she found her happy place. And so for, I guess, I don't know, close to a year or so, that's where she stayed happy.
Yeah.
But I just really, really hate that we don't know where she's at now. And I just hope that someone is, like you said, giving her hamburgers, not cheeseburgers, and that she has found herself a purpose. And I still will keep hope that at some point we may get someone who will read a chip and give us a phone call.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know. Okay. What else you got, Jamie Cakes?
We got a lot of winter prep to do. We're having a discrepancy of weather apps. My tried and not so true weather app, AccuWeather, is what I use. It says that it's going to be much worse than Lester's weather app. And I am a prepare for the worst and hope for the best kind of gal. So I'm being a little bit over the top on that preparation, Lester thinks. I gave him a warning to Morrow Hill of like, hey, this was about a week and a half ago, actually. I said, weather's going to get super cold. And in 2021, it didn't give us enough warning, and it never got above freezing for like 4 days. We had ice, we had sleet, we had snow. And the electric grid could not handle the amount of power that was necessary to be able to heat Texas. And as I understand, Texas still hasn't fixed that. So I
And
gave,
you should probably explain that we don't have the same infrastructure as you
yes,
guys who live up north. You're like, wait, it's only going to be 27. Come on, y'all. It's 14 here. It's -2 here. But your infrastructure is built for that. You have underground power lines. Our power lines run right along the tree line. And when trees get cold, those limbs will snap and break, and there goes your power.
water lines are not as deep as
Water lines are 6 inches.
Yes, water lines are not deep enough here. And people's pipes aren't insulated like that. And many people don't have furnaces in their homes. G and Pops don't have furnaces in their home. Jake doesn't have a furnace in his home. I don't even know if Kim does. But nonetheless, like, it's not built for it, and the grid is not built to power it. So that's another, like, it's a big concern. So my weather app says that there are 3 days that it's not going to get above freezing, and that we're going to be in the low 20s, close to teens. Lester's weather app says 29, and we're still going to get above freezing, and it's going to be fine. And it keeps changing just about every hour, because I don't think that they really know. But I do know that the polar vortex is what they're calling it, is affecting a big part of the country. I back home in Illinois is expecting like 11 to 13 inches tonight, with ice on top of it. And I think their high next week, one day, is 3. So, like, I know that the country is preparing for it. I guess I am a little bit of a lesson learned from 2021. We can't afford to lose water and power and all of those things. And I want to be able to be as prepared as possible. So I'm sort of going over the top.
And there's nothing wrong with over preparing. I just kind of feel like Jamie's source of news is Ryan Hall, y'all.
It is
and
not.
Everyone knows that Ryan Hall, he's a great guy. He's a great guy, but he loves to exaggerate and get people worked up. And he saves lives. Don't forget. Ryan Hall's wonderful. He's a great guy, but he also loves to exaggerate to draw in viewers. And I feel like whatever you're watching, I don't know what you watch, but I feel like they like to exaggerate to draw you in.
I didn't watch anything. I read AccuWeather.
Some people love to live in a state of fear. They love the conspiracy. They love the what ifs. They love and I think that you thrive, or whatever app you use is thriving on, let's put people in a panic to draw them in. Just draw them in. Get them glued to our channel. And usually those kind of channels, things are not as bad as what they make you feel like they are. And so I try to watch the local news. I feel like the local news is local, and they are probably the best to know what to expect locally, because they know things that other folks who don't live here probably don't, as far as your Gulf Stream and other kinds of things. Anyway, we're going to get some cold weather. We know that for sure. And our animals, our pipes, our plants, and even people are probably not equipped. We're not used to this kind of cold weather. We always say we seldom drop below freezing here. Very seldom.
And Lester also always says, like, we need that freeze because we don't want bugs next year. We got to get rid of this. So I do agree with that. However, 22 feels a little extreme, Mother Nature, but I also had hopes that 2025 would not start out like 2024 and just be a whirlwind. Anyway, our weekend is absolutely filled with this prep, because it begins tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night. And so you can rest assured that Megan and Ellie are very well, or they're at least preparing the Plum Grove property. I'll be going over today or tomorrow to make sure I can just kind of go through with Ellie all the last minute things with the well and all the pipes. And then, of course, he's already got hay put out for all the goats to snuggle down in and all those things. Then Jamie and I will have to divide and conquer like we do. And so she'll be here on this property, keeping the water running and keeping the animals taken care of. And I will do the same thing over at the North Ranch, where and I'm just going to say this, that I think that my job is going to be the easiest of all. And I kind of hate that. I really do. Don't get me wrong. I hate the fact that I might be the most knowledgeable, yet I'm doing the less responsibility. What's wrong? I don't mean that in a mean way. No. You're going to be busy. What I'm saying is you're going to work your tail off with getting those horse blankets, getting there's a lot that has to be done.
The most knowledgeable?
As far as what to do in cold weather, Texas cold weather. What I mean is my mind has a schematic of where everything is at here. My mind, stop making that. I wasn't being mean. I wasn't being mean. But what I'm saying is, I think that the North Ranch property will be the easiest because there's only really one thing to do with animals, and that's move Rita and Roman to the red barn.
And put Rita's blanket on.
Put a Rita blanket on, which I can do that.
Are you going to try to put Roman's blanket on?
I will not. I am not going to get myself kicked in the mouth.
Hold on a second. You don't think that he would let you do it because Rita has one on?
I don't know. You know what? That may be a wonderful learning experience, but if I do it, I will have the camera on a tripod. I will not do it with one hand.
You can't do it with one hand.
I can put Rita's on with one hand, easy, but I will tripod this if I need to. But if we do have a blanket for Roman, we bought one. But here's the problem. It's going to require adjusting and all of those things. And I just don't know if he's going to be able to let me do that.
So hold on. I'm going to give you some advice.
Okay.
Before you ever put it on him, extend the straps out as long as it will go.
Okay.
No matter what, right?
Yeah.
His is not a waterproof one. His is just a stable blanket. So he has to be indoors with it on.
Right.
You don't have to worry about his like through the back legs thing. Okay. It's just the under the belly one that you're going to have to worry about because he's not running. He's not doing any of those things.
And those have to crisscross, right?
I don't know on that one. If
they go under the belly.
I think so, but I'm not sure about his in particular.
Here's the thing. Roman is like a Sadie or a Roman is very woolly. Yes. Roman is thick, y'all. And if he comes from Oklahoma, then he's used to cooler temps.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to have that kind of a worry with him. So let's not make that to be where I get myself hurt.
No. You don't have to make it happen. I'm just saying, like, I have noticed things in Roman of being with Rita that he
may be jealous.
He may be jealous and he mocks what she does.
Okay.
So if you remember, like in the beginning, Roman would come up to the fence, no problem. But then whenever he got in with cows, Roman wanted to stay with cows because the cows didn't come to the fence. So Roman didn't come to the fence.
Yeah.
Now Roman's back with Rita. Rita comes to the fence. Here comes Roman. Rita eats snacks. Roman eats snacks. So there's a.
So if Rita gets a blanket, Roman may want a blanket.
Yes. Yeah. And if Rita gets a halter, Roman wants a halter right now. So what I'm saying is like horses do that. So don't feel like you can't.
Okay.
And
oh boy.
The other piece of advice I will tell you is to take it and to touch him with it first. If he spooks, then just be done with it. But if you touch him with it, like I did with that rope of like, just run it over his back first, see what he does.
Yeah.
Maybe. He probably has never had a blanket in his life. And it's not going to be the end of the world if he doesn't get one on because he will have shelter and it's going to be fine. But he may surprise us is what I'm saying.
Well, we'll see. But like what I was saying is that will be the easiest property because if you lead Rita to the red barn, Roman will follow. And then my plan is overnight to take them both to the red barn and they'll be fine. They'll be quite a bit warmer in there. Rita with a blanket, maybe Roman with a blanket as well. And then as far as the water goes, there's really only one connection that I have to make sure I keep it dripping or flowing. I will turn off all the other water and drain those pipes. So it'll be easier. Now, Plum Grove is going to be a whole lot harder. That's the most difficult place to keep everything flowing smooth because there's so much pipe. There's so many outlets. There's so many different things. And so this will be a huge test for Ellie and Megan. And I know you got this place fine. You've done this last year. And so I know you'll be fine here. But what I was saying was I just feel kind of bad that I'm going to be the easiest of the properties to maintain. But, big step for Ellie and Megan.
Yeah, I think they'll do best to disconnect almost everything except for the house.
Then the only problem is if they lose power.
That is the problem.
If you lose power, then you lose your well. And if you lose your well, then there's no way to drip your water. And
they're at the greatest risk of losing power because of all the development.
Yes, they will. They
because
will
of the volume of people out there.
Yes.
And their power company is a huge power company. We have a local co-op who has more local resources that are dedicated to here. So there's a difference. Like there's a big difference for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, people are asking about what's going on with Dinky Daryl and your donkey friends and how they're integrating with the horses.
It's like
you want more coffee?
Yeah. It's actually like super normal. And I didn't expect anything different than that. It's just that this is not a dig at Rita. We have like wonderful synergy over there. And I know that in the video, like Prim was excited about Dinky Daryl. She's the only one who had never actually touched noses or interacted with Dinky Daryl and the rest of the donkeys. But after that little like, let me smell you, that was it. And now currently, like yesterday was this most beautiful. It was beautiful and like 70 degrees out here yesterday. I was driving down the driveway to go get more stuff to prepare for the freeze. And there were 3 donkeys all lined up drinking out of the pond, and other horses were grazing. Dinky Daryl is amongst Storm and Prim, which is hilarious. Like he's like, yeah, I got my ladies. And
yeah, he thinks he's the man out there, y'all.
But it is like, it's so like blissful. I wish that the pastures connected for them, because there's no reason that they can't all be together outside of the fact that there's not enough grass for them to graze on in the springtime. But like they're doing wonderful. I do have blankets for the donkeys. I don't know if they'll let me do it. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me.
Lillian says, Pawpaw, Lester, and Dan went over to my dad's camper and it's all completed, and it absolutely is. Now, what I did not realize, and Jamie did, is that I bought the wrong antifreeze. No, I'm going to cough. Oh, by the way, Jamie and I are both getting over being sick. So if everyone, I
feel so much better than I did 2 days ago.
People say you guys sound sick. We're actually getting over being sick.
We're on the mend.
Yeah, so
this is great. We're feeling amazing.
My worst day was a while back, but here's the thing: it's just kind of a lingering cough with me and kind of a dry throat. And then in the morning or night, I have the sniffles when I get out in the cold air. So if you've heard me sniffling a little bit, I know it's kind of disgusting to hear someone sniffle on a video, but I don't know how else to avoid it. I get out to make a live and I'm sniffling because I'm cold. Anyway, but we're fine. We don't feel bad. But no, we went over to my dad's and got his camper all prepped. We think got all the water drained, got everything, got some antifreeze into it. And then I didn't find out until later when I was reading my dad's comments, how everyone was mad at me for using the wrong antifreeze. I had no idea. And so Jamie knew. And so Jamie is a lot more knowledgeable on some things, because when she bought antifreeze for our RV here, she brought the right kind, the pink kind, supposedly. And I'm not going to antifreeze the other RV because I'll actually be staying in there. And it has really neat heaters. It has heaters in all of the tanks. So we'll be fine as long as we keep power. And if we lose power, we have a generator. So we'll be okay. So thank y'all for that.
Don't worry. Papa's RV will be okay. It'll be fine. He's not drinking the toilet water. It's going to be okay.
No, he's not drinking the toilet water. And I don't know really what the concern is, but when we drain all of that, we won't drain it onto the ground. We'll drain it into our tank. So we're going to be fine, y'all.
It'll be fine. Don't worry. Nobody's drinking water out of that RV. And that RV is Papa's little man cave, and it's fine. It's going to be fine. Yeah, so we have this RV to do today. I have plants. I have plants. After this, I'm going to go get a truckload of mulch. And Lester is he did not understand. He's like, why are you putting out mulch? That's like the least of our worries. No, mulch is an insulator to all my roots of my plants and will keep them alive even if the tops die. So it's really important to mulch up as high as you can on things that are not, like, most of my plants they're perennial and they'll come back every year. However, if it gets down in the 20s, like my app says, not his, then they will die because the root base will freeze. And that's the one thing we can't. So
yes, we are live, to the person who's asking, is this a live? And then Jennifer, yes, we do have a generator at I'm a Survivor, but it's not the kind that we have here that comes on by itself.
And it's not a whole home either.
And it's not a whole home. It will not run the bigger things like the furnace, the air conditioners, or the well. So it can give them power for lights and maybe a space heater. But as far as the water goes, they're going to be in a pickle if they end up losing power. And you know what you do is, though, sometimes when Mother Nature throws things at you that you just can't prepare for, then you just pick up the pieces and then you start over. And that's what we'll do. We will, when I go over tomorrow, I'll show my son how to drain all the pipes and we will only leave the house hooked up. He'll make sure all of his waters are filled up for the animals. And then any day that's above freezing, we'll turn the water all back on and fill up, but then we'll redrain those pipes before the weather drops below freezing. If there's no water in your pipes, then there's nothing to freeze. And so that's the key right there, just draining those pipes over there. Because if you don't drain, you have to leave all your pipes running, and there's just too many pipes over there to leave running. Y'all, there's a lot of water line over there.
There is. We also have ponds that the animals can drink out of. However, we will fill up every water trough to the max, and then and any extras that we can come up with between now and then, so that there is water for the animals to drink, just in case we do lose power. But we really hope that we don't, because we like to keep fresh water troughs for all of the animals.
Here's something I can teach you guys if you don't already know, because there's a lady who's wondering, how will you flush toilets? This is actually something that I thought most people knew, but if you don't, get this. Even if you don't have running water in your home, but you have a toilet, if you have a storage tank of water, let's just say the bathtub. So I'll tell Ellie to fill up the bathtub. And then have himself a 1 gallon bucket there in his bathroom. You can still use the toilet, but you can't flush it because the running water will not let it. There's no water running. So instead, you scoop your 1 gallon of water out of the tub and you simply pour it into the tank. Or I'm sorry, you pour it into the bowl, and it will flush manually. It'll flush by itself.
It's driven by gravity and pressure.
So so you can still flush toilets as long as you have a storage tank of some sort. And we will use our bathtubs over there to fill with water, so they will be able to flush their toilets. So not to worry about that. And I did not know people didn't know that. I thought everyone kind of knew that. Did you?
I knew that. Yeah.
You knew that already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have to make one call out. It is Brienne's birthday today. So we do need to wish
Brienne?
Yeah, we need to wish Brienne at Life on Morrow Hill a happy birthday. She is escaped, I believe, and is out of town, and it is enjoying a birthday celebration with Larry.
How old is Brie? 28?
I'm going to say 27.
27?
I think so.
That's wonderful.
So happy birthday, Brienne. We love you.
Happy birthday, Brienne. I do love her. She's my only niece. And I was so blessed to be a part of raising her. Of course, she has a wonderful mom and dad. But being that I was the fun uncle, most of the kids grew up there in my house. And so I have so many wonderful memories of Brienne. She loved doing scavenger hunts. She loved helping me clean after everyone else played. And then, you know what's funny is, I don't know why, but and I'm not trying to be misogynistic when I say this, but it's the same thing as Uriel's daughter. Jamie got her a cute little set, a little center and a play area. And whenever we introduced her to the play area, was that last week?
Yeah.
She ran to the little play area.
And I'm thinking she's going to grab a doll.
There's dolls, there's little animals, there's a whole kitchenette, there's all these little cute things. That little girl on her own runs over, grabs her a broom, and starts. It's a play broom.
It was her size. Broom. It was her size.
And she starts sweeping her kitchen.
Sweet.
And I'm like, dang, she's going to make someone a wonderful wife. Well, Jamie has to grab my knee at that point and pinch me.
Yes.
But
I
don't mean it in a mean way, but what I'm saying is that's just cute that that part of her just, I'm going to go over and clean up this little play area. And so I remember that when Brienne was little, she's probably 5-6 years old, coming over, and the boys who were older would make a mess, with their ramen noodle and everything else. And Brienne would always love to help me clean everything up. And she'd wash the dishes and she'd sweep up all the floor. And I miss that about her. We should have to invite her over sometime.
Oh my God.
I'm playing. I'm gonna grab your knee now. Anyway, today is Brienne's birthday. So
yes,
we gotta get off here. It's been over an hour. We're in trouble.
All right. We got a lot to do today anyway.
We are winter prepping, friends. Winter prepping.
Winter prep. It's kind of rainy outside, and you can tell that it's going to be carrying in this nasty weather. So we hope that y'all have a good day, and that if you are winter prepping, that you do so safely and that you stay warm and healthy. And thank you for being a part of our day. in our life.
Yes. Thank you, guys. And thank you to the moderators for keeping the page keeping it Christian is what I like to say. Keeping it Christian. The page has cleaned up a whole lot. You do realize that. Having moderators, having somebody just kind of like looking over your shoulder, watching your back, has really helped the page so very much. So thank you so much, moderators. You guys work your tails off, and we appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for loving us, putting up with us for the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there's been some ugly, I know. And we certainly don't deserve you, but we're not going to trade you guys for nothing. I will not trade you for nothing. No matter how many times you call me, I'm not trading you for nothing, okay? Thank y'all for watching. And we're going to end this thing the same way that we started it, if you're okay with that. You okay with that, Jamie?
Let's do it.
Let's just do it. It's not quite time yet, okay? Not quite time yet, sir. I am making a mess. I am making a mess. It is too cold to be outside. What's wrong? Hank, I don't want hair in my coffee. No hair in my coffee. Move away. All right, babe, we're in the green room. People are here.